Hello there, Shortcuts. This is Stephen here. The second list for the price list that will go out tomorrow. That's Wednesday, October 15th, 9 p.m. Sydney time sharp. It's been a few weeks since I put a list out, and I just got back, and I'm using this as a way to stave off my jet lag. I did a genre list just a few minutes ago. That video is uploading. I will now do a rock and pop list with some classics and some unusual things, I think. All of the UK presses are going to start from next week. I brought a full suitcase of UK black gold home with me. If you would like to see the price list for anything on what you're about to see, drop me an email, shortcutsrecordsaus@gmail.com. All right, now, I am always excited when I see this in the box. This is, I think, my favorite Japanese press ever of any record. It is this, London Calling, The Clash, the only country that pressed it in gatefold. It should have been done in the first place. This is a beautiful copy. The vinyl is clean as anything. I don't get it very often. For those of you who've picked it up, I know that you've raved about it. The feedback has been off the charts. The Clash, UK punk firmament, they evolved past that scene super quickly and invoked roots reggae and soul and funk in everything they did, and swing, political commentary, fun, it's just brilliant. Spanish Bombs, Lost in the Supermarket, The Guns of Brixton, the title track, Death or Glory, Clamp Down, it just goes on. And I love the white label, the Japanese white label. If you've not heard that Japanese press, it is wonderful. It absolutely smashes everything, including, in many ways, the UK first press. The UK first press is pretty damn good as well, though. But the recent represses, man, light and day. And it's just brilliant. It is a blueprint for what came after. It lives up to the hype. I love the deep cuts. So one of the ones that comes to my mind, the right profile, horn-driven, little slice of life. The throwback to Elvis on the sleeve, Paul Simonon smashing his precision guitar on the stage in New York City in September 1979. It's just magic. All right. Unfortunately, the Clash were relatively short-lived, I suppose, but Rolling Stones have gone on. And in 2023, they released their first kind of post Charlie Watts record called Hackney Diamonds, and there are a couple of Charlie tracks on there. It had a horrible sleeve. Oh, it was like a really bad AI image. But I tracked down this. Now, I'm keeping one copy. I got two. This is a special release of this record. It was made, and I don't quite know what the link is, but there was a link to the Toronto Blue Jays. And so, can you see the sleeve? You've got this play on the Rolling Stones classic, lolling tongue. But here you've got the baseball seams and the Toronto Blue Jays colors. If you look on Discogs, this thing goes for $115 plus. It's quite rare, but it'll be $50, maybe even a little bit less. I'm not quite sure on the list, and it's still sealed. It's got a little bit of a corner ding to its top left, but other than that, it's great. Hackney Time is an interesting record because the last track is the Rolling Stone Blues, which is a really beautiful acoustic cover version. I think it's a Muddy Waters original, with Mick playing killer harmonica. And for me, that really felt like top and tail. Like, the Beatles used the end at the end of Abbey Road. Rolling Stone Blues at the end of this. I don't know if there'll ever be another all originals, or nearly all originals, Rolling Stones record. I suppose never say never, but it's a decent album and way better than I ever thought it would be. I'm keeping a copy. I thought someone else might be into it as well. Now, probably in my top 10 Japanese presses of all time, not quite number one like London Calling, is this. This is the Japanese first press of Talking Heads' Fear of Music. Now, this is interesting. It's also a gatefold, but can you see that the lyrics and everything are interior inside the gatefold? It's also kind of textured sleeve. It's just beautiful. But the big thing about this is how incredible it sounds. It is magical. Now, they're rare, hard to find, which means that they're a little bit more expensive. But Talking Heads, Fear of Light, Japanese first press, 1979. Burns kind of anxious poetry, the tight engine that their rhythm section was becoming, and then there's Eno being a bit mischievous and magical over the top. I love it. It's great. That Japanese first press is spectacular. I also have one final. I had a whole bunch of cheap Beatles records over at the fairs. I've snaffled them all up, but this is the Rubber Soul. I think this is the 1976 repress. Just a beautiful sounding record for those of you who haven't got a great sounding Rubber Soul. Now I've got a little section of rock, and I've got a few kind of new wave British heavy metal, a couple of compilations. Anyway, you can see what you make of this. Now here's an unusual one. This is some thrash metal. I've got Onslaught, In Search of Sanity. This is the UK first press. It's in beautiful condition. This, I'm not quite sure what year this is. 1989? I'm pretty sure it's 1989. This is a band who by 1989 were kind of polishing the thrash edges a little bit, but were certainly not going mainstream or anything like it. It includes the inner, which is also in lovely condition. So think of it, precision guitar riffage, just really, interesting record. Not one that I've had before, or I'm likely to have again, I think. I've got a couple of compilations, as I mentioned. This is a Japan-only compilation of Thin Lizzy. So track list here, you have Waiting for an Alibi, Dancing in the Moonlight, Don't Believe a Word, Wild One, Jailbreak, Rosalie, Still in Love with You, Cowboy Song, Boys Are Back in Town. So literally, the cream of the cream. Only released in Japan. Really nice copy, bit of Thin Lizzy goodness. And a little bit harder to find and rarer, but rather lovely is this Whitesnake compilation, also complete with Obi. So this is the David Coverdale version of Whitesnake, of course, bluesy, hard rock. They came a long way from where they started. I think this is probably covering some of their earlier stuff. Let's have a look at some of the tracks here. Walking in the Shadow of the Blues, Love Hunter, Sweet Talker, Don't Break My Heart, Fool for Your Lovin', We Wish You Well. So this is that kind of early-ish period with John Lord on keyboards, of course. Really, really nice to see that. I don't think I've had that before. And then finally, one final kind of new wave record. This is Denim and Leather by Saxon. Now, this is the Japanese first press. This is seriously hard to find. From Barnsley, 1981. This is one of the kind of keystone new wave of British heavy metal records. I've never seen the Japanese first press before, but there we have it. Now, a couple more to go. I have a really nice copy of Tom Verlaine's Flashlight. Now, this is definitely in the top couple of solo albums that Tom Verlaine ever made. You can still hear that wiry television guitar, and it's quite accessible, very melodic in places. I think really worth having, especially this Fontana label. This is the exact copy that I have on my shelf. I really like the record. I know it's more of a cult favorite, and it really is lovely on headphones as well, but it's an absolute masterclass in guitar playing. It's beautiful. In terms of deep cut that I love, I would say it is The Scientist Writes a Letter. Really cool, very, I don't know, idiosyncratic Tom Verlaine stuff. Always been a Tom Verlaine fan. All right, a couple more to go. Now this is interesting. This is David Bowie's kind of controversial album, Never Let Me Down. This was probably where his 80s commercialism met a little bit of restlessness, and he wanted to change shape and do something different. And so you hear very tight sounds, but it's got a really quite lovely poster. I almost kept this for the poster, but that's not the point of this club. Let me show you what this looks like. It's really cool. Look at this. Mr. David Bowie. It's quite large, so I haven't folded it out completely. But it's in really nice condition. This Japanese culture of putting posters and little extras in their records is definitely part of why I keep wanting to find more and grab more of these. This is lovely. All right, I've got 3 more to go, one of which you absolutely know, 2 of which I don't think I've had on the list before. Starting with this. This is the Style Council Home and Abroad. Now, I've had a few Style Council records over the years. I don't think I've had this. This is the Japanese first press as well. Now, I think this is a live album, but there might be someone out there who knows way more than me about. I know there's at least one of you out there, because I know there's a super fan of the Style Council out there. It's got this really nice booklet with the lyrics. Look at that. Almost worth framing that alone. It's beautiful. Yeah, really, really nice condition, this copy. If anyone knows more about that record, fill in the blanks for me in the notes. Now, I know more about this is because I love the band, and I've had the music from Big Pink recently, which is still in the crates, by the way, if anyone missed it. But this is Cahoots by the band with Obi and lyrics on the inside, and the kind of quirky back sleeve of them all pretending to be asleep. The classic lineup, of course: Levon Helm, Rick Danko, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, and Robbie Robertson. This is really swampy, really groovy, kind of really leans into New Orleans. It's fab. And there's the classic kind of picture from the self-titled album. Oh, I also meant to say, it's also a white label promo. It's white label promo complete with Obi and all the goodness. Alan Toussaint adds that New Orleans magic to songs like Life is a Carnival. So there you go. That's a nice one. And then finally, I know a couple of you have been pinging me to ask if I've got a nice copy of this, and I found one. This is the Aussie first press of Stop Making Sense. Look at the pricing sticker still on the back. In really nice condition. Really, really nice. I'll give it a good clean as well. There you have it. Talking Heads, the band, Stop Making Sense by Talking Heads. We've got Fear of Music. We've got The Clash. The price list will go out as usual, 9 p.m. on Wednesday. If you would like to be on the price list, email but aren't, drop me a note at shortcutsrecordsaus@gmail.com. Thank you. Talk to you soon.